because I hate politics.
I hate politics too.
Hey, everybody, it's the Know Nothings podcast.
What's up? It's Ray and Mike.
And it's episode number 32.
So 32, I got me this new Blitz THC infused drink. It's a 30 milligrams of THC, which is a little more than I'm used to having. So we'll see what happens on this crazy ride called the Know Nothings today. I think it'll be fine. Maybe it'll probably get me into some good conversation pieces.
I think you'll be all right. I'm having White Russians or...
Oh, I'll definitely be all right.
When
I'm not, we can just, if one of us is not all right, we can just end the show.
We'll just end the show. I'm having White Russians, which is... Or Caucasians, as they called them in The Big Lebowski.
And your tourist cup from New Orleans.
And yeah, my huge ass beer, my tourist cup that I brought back from New Orleans.
Yeah, that's.
We went to when we were in New Orleans. We were sitting at that cafe or whatever down there.
Cafe du Monde.
Yeah, and the guys there playing like the saxophone and saying stuff. And we got a wacky background going on right now. It's switched on me, but it'll be all right.
It'll be fine.
It looks like video game stuff. Anyway, he's like, "Where are you guys from?" And we're like, "Rusted." And he goes, "Y'all are posing as tourists. Said you're local." They're like, "You guys are posing as tourists."
You kind of not local. Rusted.
It's not local.
Rusted might as well be Japan to New Orleans. Like,
said,
they're so different. They're so different culturally.
Is, but still, he was like, "Rusted in Louisiana. Y'all are from Louisiana."
From up above Alexandria, they don't even really consider us from Louisiana, although we are. I was born in New Orleans, and my family's from there. It's definitely different than Ruston, Louisiana, for sure. There could not be two more different. Well, one thing, everyone down south is Catholic, and everyone here is not definitely Baptist, right?
Definitely Baptist here.
And just their approach around food, and everyone here does a chicken and sausage gumbo. You can do chicken and sausage gumbo in New Orleans, but really, it's a seafood gumbo. That's a freaking gumbo. Really chicken and sausage gumbo is like not. I want crab and shrimp and oysters. That's a gumbo. I mean, chicken and sausage is fine, but to me, it's more like it's like a side item. But like a meal gumbo, it's seafood gumbo. New Orleans gumbo. I'm looking for seafood gumbo.
Yeah. You gotta put this on loop.
When were y'all there?
Oh, it was a year ago.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been back in a while, but I love it, and I want to go back like all the time. Like, I like staying on Bourbon.
Oh, you stay on Bourbon?
Oh yeah, at the Royal
Sonesta,
yeah, that's a nice one. I stay there. It's a little expensive.
It is.
I
think
you save up.
Patrick Newman used to be the chef there. Remember Patrick? He was in your.
Yeah.
He was the executive.
Patrick Newman.
Yeah, he's the executive chef at the Royal Sonesta. I think that's where he was.
Wow, nice. That's a nice place. I really like it. As soon as you walk out onto Bourbon Street, people start attacking you, and I just yell at everybody. I'm just way louder than everybody that's trying to be loud and in your face and bump you and steal your wallet and want to give you like beads and give me money and all that.
Yeah.
As soon as they just attack me, I just start yelling, "I'm going to eat over here. Leave me alone. Leave me alone!" And I just yell it as loud as I can. Everybody's like, "Oh, okay, this guy."
And then they leave you alone. This big dude walking around, waving his hands, yelling at people. Like,
yeah, it's not worth it. Some guy walked past me, and he was like, "Cocaine?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Cocaine?" And I go, "Cocaine? Cocaine? That takes all your bad feelings and turns them into good feelings. I'll have." And by this time, he's running away from me. And I'm like, "I think I'll have some of that cocaine."
Yeah. Damn, man.
It's like people mess with you, or they do that. And I just don't want people to mess with me, so I mess back.
Well, hey, boy's just out there trying to make a living. You're fucking up his hustle, bro.
Yeah, right. Shit. He's running away from me.
Could there be an easier job than selling cocaine on Bourbon Street, though?
I think that's probably the easiest thing ever.
If you take the possibility of law enforcement, which really they're probably going to be like, whatever.
Whatever.
Like, I got time to deal with the cocaine bust, all this shit going on down there. Was there any? I know
this guy's selling little packets, probably of cocaine for $10 a hit. You know what I mean? It's like they're just like whatever.
Yeah, do it.
There's other things. People are getting murdered in these.
This guy's making $300 a day. I don't have time to chase him around for this little bit of shit. How was the violence? Because that's why I haven't been in like 2 years. I'm like, damn, the violence has just really crept up in New Orleans. Like it's.
I didn't see any fights or anything.
Yeah, no fights, no shootings, no stabbings.
No, nothing like that. But that's commonplace. But
a lot of murders past 2 years.
One of our friends' sisters was a coroner in New Orleans, and she was like, "Never go during Mardi Gras."
I hate going to New Orleans
Never
during
go
Mardi Gras.
during Mardi Gras. She says she saw some of the sickest,
Dude,
craziest shit that she had to do. She was the coroner.
You can't pee. They want to. Everyone wants to like charge you to pee. There's people on top. I mean, you should go to Mardi Gras one time if you've never been. Like, I think people should go. Like, oh, go. But once you go, yes, it's the biggest party in the world. But who wants to really be at the biggest? Do you really want to be at the biggest party in the world?
When you're young, yeah. Not now. I don't want to go now.
Fuck, it's terrible.
You know what the worst part about the things that you do is the coming and the going. I think we've talked about that.
No, I don't think we have.
The coming and the going, the getting in the car, the going to the concert, the parking, the
Oh,
waiting in line.
Yeah, we talked about that like at
the
festivals
going
and stuff.
inside. It's like going to New Orleans is just that the whole time.
For an event, for sure.
The whole time. There's so many people there that during Mardi Gras, it's like you get in, you hunker down, and that's where you're at.
Yeah, and you can't. And then if you like, oh God, I'm about to pee down my leg, and you try to go in somewhere, pee, they're like $20.
Kylie she took her kids to Mardi Gras. They just went during the day, and she said it was fine. Then is when the night sets in.
Well, see,
that's when it gets rough.
Being
that's when it
from
gets
there,
hard.
I would go to I go to the parades off of Bourbon Street, or I go to like when I had kids, I'd go to like the family parade on Veterans. Like those are great. It's just
that's what they might have went to.
It's just like a couple 100,000 people stretched over a few miles. Everybody's giving you some space. They're not people. You're not 10 rows deep. You still a float's a float.
When
beads
was
are
the
beads.
last one you went to?
Probably 2010, maybe. Probably 2010. Probably 12 years.
Okay, well, we should probably go to one where now that it's like, are there ladies like showing their boobies still, or they're just?
Oh
super...
yeah, boobs will never die. I mean,
I don't know, man. I think these younger generations, they're not into it.
They're a little more promiscuous now than they ever were.
I think it's an act. I think that like
they might be more aware that I might be sexually assaulted if I pull my boobs out in front of a million people.
I think they're
like,
more aware of that now, and I think that keeps.
I think
I don't agree with all that. I'm kind of prude then. Like I wouldn't want my daughter on Bourbon Street yanking her boobs out. So
hell no, I wouldn't want my daughter on Bourbon Street.
So that means you don't want anyone then, right?
Well, no, because I'm not
She's somebody's daughter.
No, I can answer that. I can answer that like without any kind of hesitation. No, that's not true because I am not the moral police for everyone. I am not here to judge others' morality. My daughter. My wife, my people, like, I mean, maybe shouldn't be their judge either, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna, like,
yeah,
this shit ain't happening, or I don't want it to happen at least. Maybe it could, I couldn't do anything about it, but, like, I would hope, but no, for as far as everybody else, no, because I'm not the moral police, just like I don't do cocaine, but I don't judge people who do cocaine.
I don't either.
I don't take dick pics, but I don't judge people who do.
I don't do drugs.
Send dick pics. I don't do drugs either. I'm Cali sober.
So Cali sober?
Yeah.
I'm. What do you call this sober?
None.
No, not sober.
Not sober.
I'm not sober. Not sober. So, what you're saying is this Mardi Gras, we're buying a big tub of beads and going to Mardi Gras to see some boobies. Is that
No. That's I'm not into like. I don't really care about seeing like. I don't really care about seeing. I'm not going to give you $20 beads to see your boobs, but I'm just not judging you for taking your boobs out. Unless
I'm judging.
Well,
I'm not judging.
Well, you're saying you don't want it to happen.
I'm not judging. I just feel bad about it. I feel bad about the whole situation.
Well, because you think they're being exploited?
Yeah.
By willingly pulling their... You don't think they're being free?
He treats objects like women, man.
Treats women like objects?
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
I think, okay.
The joke is, hey, man, he treats objects like women, man.
Yeah, I think for that. I think a lot. It's just like Vegas, right? Like a lot. The women are going there. They're having fun. They're just letting their hair down.
Maybe I'm against fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm against fun.
I mean,
I like good, clean fun. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm into.
Like where people aren't pulling their boobs out.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for everyone. I have some hang-ups, maybe. Maybe I've got some hang-ups.
Why is that uncomfortable for you?
No,
It's just
I
a boob.
just don't like it. It makes me feel bad for everybody.
For who?
Like strip clubs, never go.
Strip clubs.
I feel bad for everyone.
I feel bad.
The desperation that everyone feels for some reason.
It's gross.
I know some people are like, they're doing what they want to do. They're free with their bodies and blah blah blah.
It's
I'm
gross.
just like, no, it's gross.
It feels.
It feels wrong.
It feels dehumanizing. It feels. I've never been a huge fan. I'm not saying I've never been, but I've never been a huge fan. all the girls saying their name's Diamond and Destiny, and I just start feeling. I get this like pit in my stomach. I'm like, your name's not Destiny.
No, of course. It's so you can't creep out and find her on Facebook or whatever.
I'm not gonna creep out and find her on Facebook. I don't like. I always turn to their. I turn to their dads. So I'm like, no, I don't want any dances. Yeah.
I mean, it's like whenever the boys drag you to the strip club, back in the day or whatever, when you really didn't have a say. Because now when we're older, it's just like, no, fuck that, I'm not going. You can kiss my ass. I don't want to go to that.
But I don't equate a strip club to the same way I would equate somebody showing their boobs at Mardi Gras or a concert. Like Mardi Gras or a concert showing your boobs.
Okay,
that's just free.
That.
The strip club, I feel like they have a lot of things they need to work through. They have there's trauma. No, I'm talking about trauma. There's trauma there that needs to be addressed. And this is
Howard Stern already like every single person that he talked to, he always said, "Excuse me, good Lord, it's the Caucasian
Russian."
Damn, you make a good Caucasian, Jackie.
Yeah.
Whenever you watch Howard Stern has like this thing where he says that they all have like a sexual trauma early in life.
Sure,
as well. I do that.
I agree. Maybe not all. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say all, but I'm gonna go ahead and say over 60%.
Yeah,
way over.
Oh, definitely over 60%. Definitely over 60%.
And that's terrible. And it's a bad thing.
And then they're there. They have undealt with trauma. They're having to show their body to all these men. A lot of the men that are there, they are just. It's pathetic. It's sad.
There was a guy. Okay, like in Daytona Beach, I'm going to call this out to the 10 people that watch. But like in Daytona Beach, when over the past, I don't know, 20 years I've been going to Daytona Beach, there's a strip club that we've been to probably like 3 times, okay, in the past 20 years.
Yeah. And
the only reason is because it's right across the street from where we were staying every time. And it was called Biggins. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was funny because it's from Married with Children. The magazine is Biggins.
Yeah, Biggins. Biguns.
So like in 2002, 2010, and 2016, the 3 times, there's an older gentleman in there every time.
So it means he's been
same guy.
Means he's been there for 20 years.
Old guy. I mean, this dude's probably like 70, right?
Yeah.
He's like
probably
in his
80 now.
He's 80 now. But he's feeding money to the same girl the whole time, and like the third time we were in there, like we've been in here for
it's been 12 years.
It's been 12 years. I was like, this guy's been in here, and they were like, oh yeah, he comes in here and he just feeds her money. That's like his girl, and if anybody tries to like get a lap dance from her or whatever while he's in here giving her money, it is not happening.
He's like, no, I'll give you more to dance with me.
She knows where her bread's buttered. You know what I mean? Like she's just getting money from him.
That guy, but that poor old guy, like he's milking out all his money from retirement, all his savings.
Well,
going
you got to
one
think
stripper.
This guy's got a lot of money. If he's
had
been
a lot
in there
of
those 3 random times, he's in there every week or every night.
Probably 350 days a year for 10. That's 3,000 trips. If he says spends $1,000, what is that?
What's the motive behind that? Do you think this dollar bill's gonna get her to come home with him, or is this?
I don't think it has anything.
Or is it just like?
I think he's just a lonely old man.
Like he's a lonely old man, and she reminds him of like his wife or his girlfriend from high school or something.
No, I think she reminds him of his youth.
Yeah,
reminds him of his youth. Not like, maybe that's. God, I think after my 5th, if I made it 5 or 6 days in a row into a strip club, I would have to be like, man, you'd have to self-evaluate on that, right? Like, even at 80.
I used to go like the same guy we went with, like every time he just walks in, and it's like his jam. It's like me walking up on stage with a guitar and hitting the first chord. I'm in it, and I'm just like, this is what I want. This guy walks in a strip club and he's just like, boom, talking to all of them and like being super, like the man in the strip club, and all the strippers are like all like talking to him and stuff, and it was just like, this guy's like at home in here. Like, what is going on?
You answered your own question then. Like he's lonely. That there he's popular. He's seen, because you get that age, if you're widowed or whatever, you're not seen anywhere. No one sees you. Like, you just kind of go through life at a certain age. When you get old, like, you just kind of go. So I think with him, which is sad. Now, like, it's not sad when people are like,
it's not sad. He's getting what he wants. She's getting what she wants. Obviously, it's money because she's doing it for money.
Yeah, but the exchange, it is kind of sad. Just the way the exchange has to take. Now, when it's like a bachelor party or bachelorette party, that to me, that's just people having fun. That's to say, I kind of
wouldn't go.
But you would because you went those 3 times.
Those 3 times it was like the circumstances were just like we're gonna go here and then go to bed. You know, it's like it's right across the street.
Yes, you just go in, have your drink. I mean, it's not like I can't go to one. I'm not as far as you are.
Go
like, you're like on the
room.
You're like I can't do it.
I wasn't gonna go sit in the room, but I just don't like it.
I don't either. But it's not like. But I don't hate it to the point where I'd be like, oh,
I'm not like saying that. Like I'm not talking bad about the girls or the guys or everybody that's in there doing their thing. They're doing their thing. Everybody has their own thing. I'm just saying.
For me, it doesn't work.
For me, the whole time I set my foot in there, it's Creep Show 101 for me, and it just feels.
And it's like, sticky. It smells gross. It is gross. If you took, imagine taking a black light around a strip club. Can you imagine
really?
Or just think.
I never thought of it.
Take those black lights.
No, there's no way people are like jizzing in a strip club, right?
Well, for sure they are.
Really?
What are you talking about?
No, like what? Where? In the bathroom?
In the champagne room?
I've never been in there.
They say no sex in the champagne room.
Oh, that means sex in the champagne room, right?
There's sometimes sex in the champagne room.
Depends on how many dollar bills.
And there's certainly hand jobs in the champagne room, and certainly, like those types of things.
What am I, 12?
Yeah.
Wait, let me reevaluate that. What am I, 16?
Yeah. You had to know there would be, if you ran that black light around a strip club, there would be more things that you wouldn't want to see. Oh my gosh.
Do you think?
Do you really not think?
I don't think so. I think the last thing. What?
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Is this conversation? What's happening here?
I don't know. Am I an idiot?
If you really think
there's
that,
a bunch
you
of
just
so you're telling me. Wait. You're telling me that there's a bunch of jizzing going on in a strip club.
That's what I'm telling you.
Oh my god, I'm never going. I was never gonna go anyway.
A lot of times, probably
now I'm gonna like avoid the block.
A lot of times, probably in just the man's pants, right? But
oh my god,
because when you somebody pays $200 for a dance, and some guys, she starts rubbing that little booty on those Levi's.
No.
It's over for him. It's over with.
Oh no, is that why? Oh no.
It's like I just told you about oxygen or something. Wait a minute. Are you telling me?
Wait. Stop the presses.
Are you trying to say
I
think you're trying to say?
Are you saying that men go to strip clubs and ejaculate?
Yes. Can you believe it?
It's so easy to stay home with your phone and ejaculate.
Yeah, but there's not a real person.
You're already paying a plan. You're already paying Verizon, whatever you're paying them.
Yeah, so you might as well use this porn.
You might as well use it on your phone. Why are you going there? Gross.
Because it's a real person. They don't have real people alive.
Ugh. Is it a real person? Ugh.
It's an actress.
I'm creeped out now. I really am.
You're visibly shook by the news of the strip.
Oh boy.
Wait till I tell you that people
don't.
Wait till I tell you that people get drunk in bars. You're gonna.
No, I know that's crazy. It's crazy to me. I really never thought that was happening.
Yeah.
Like I thought, maybe
and some
there
of
was
them
some,
they're
like,
not.
sex. I thought maybe there's some sex going on, or like you said, hand jobs and stuff like in the back room. When you go back there and you pay a bunch of money, that's going on.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm talking about. So where does that stuff go?
Oh God, where does it go?
I
didn't think about it.
You think they do a good job of cleaning every night? Like, hey, we got to get under the velvet couch when y'all close.
Hey, everybody, it's time for Angel to take the pillows from the champagne room to the
to the wall to the laundromat
to the laundromat this evening.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Holy shit! Hey, it's time for
Now they have
of a good.
They have
what is a good stripper name?
Diamond, Destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah.
it's time for Destiny to take all of the to call.
You had a good one. What was the name you came? What was the
Stanley
first name you
Steamer.
said? Angel.
Angel.
Angel's a good one.
It's time for Angel to call Stanley.
Stanley.
Steamer.
Yeah, and then yeah. So
have him come in later.
I'm sure that is happening like quarterly or something. There's like
quarterly.
Yeah. There's going to be like a deep cleaning, but if you think every night they're like Febreze in the joint and like scrubbing all the,
I hope
the
at
couch.
least they're Febrezing. I hope
look,
at least.
I don't want to speak for most strip clubs have security and there's not like any.
This is all fun. We're just being fun.
But
this is just fun.
But
I knew.
But
there
even
was
in
jizzing, I knew there was jizzing going on in strip clubs. You've never thought about it. I never jizzed in a strip club. What are you talking about?
Because you go in there weirded out.
Oh my God, my dad watches this.
Well, you're 43. It's time
time to own up to being a man, right? Saying man things.
All that's really going to happen is make your dad happy and be like, yeah, I'm glad that my son doesn't like that.
No, Dad's gonna be like, that idiot. He didn't know that there's jizzing going on in strip clubs. What a moron. I raised him completely wrong.
Well, does your dad watch us on YouTube or TikTok?
YouTube. I don't know. He watches both, I guess.
I'll just leave that part off of TikTok. And
no, that's we'll get muted anyway. Let me just tell you this about TikTok.
Yeah,
let's switch gears.
Why
for
do we
a second.
get muted? Yeah, it's time to switch gears for sure.
I get
That's
muted.
all I can talk about jizz.
Yeah, right. I've said jizz way too many times. I'm at my jizz limit of saying jizz. Like for the rest of the month, and it's what, the 4th?
Yeah, something
so
like that.
It's over. There's no more of that. Anyway, TikTok. We get muted for saying just stuff like that, and then
I'll see a video of the most heinous, craziest shit saying anything.
There'll be chicks saying stuff about their vaginas and and I'm saying nice words.
300,000 views and 5,000 likes and
they're not
300
muted.
comments and not muted.
It blows my mind. And
is it because we're males? White males?
I don't know. You want to pull the white male card? Is that a card now?
I don't. It's definitely not a card.
It's not a card.
It's a card that people try to.
It's a card that people try to do. I just think that if you're making money, you can be as gross as you want. If you're making TikTok money,
you can say
if
anything.
you've got 1.1 million views and you're talking about how something pops out of your vagina, they don't bother you.
But ours isn't even sexual that they'll mute.
No.
They mute all kinds of stuff.
No.
Because most of our stuff we talk about is like Bigfoots and JFK and MLK and conspiracies and moon landings. And
I said my dick gets soft
when you hear Taylor Swift and
when I was
Taylor
in the
Swift
gym, Taylor Swift in the gym, and they muted that, and that is nothing.
I tell you why, though,
to what people are saying on TikTok.
No, it's because you said Taylor Swift. It's like if you use if you use Beatles or Queen or
said
Sabbath
something
music,
bad about Jesus
or Michael Jackson, like these certain artists we've talked about, that they're so much more protected than all other artists. There's like a group of about 20 of them, and I'm telling you cannot do or say their name without them. They'll find out in 5 seconds. And
you think Taylor Swift knows my dick gets soft now?
Taylor Swift doesn't know that.
That's great.
But no, she doesn't know that. But her management.
She is not okay. First of all, here's another. They're gonna.
Are you fixing to go on the? Are you fixing to say she's not hot?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think you're crazy on that.
Really?
One. What?
She looks like a 3rd grade teacher to me.
I like 3rd grade teachers, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. She's not hot.
I like that tall, skinny. You don't like tall, skinny?
No.
Really?
It's not just the tall. Skinny.
I like short. I like short, petite too.
Okay.
I like
obviously,
thick too,
obviously, I'm not a male.
But I love my wife the most. I'm just saying.
I'm not a male chauvinist, like saying who's hot and who's not. She's just not.
Why is that? Why would that make you a male chauvinist?
Because people are gonna think that's male chauvinist.
People are fucking stupid. I'm so fucking sick of having to tiptoe around all this bullshit.
I'm not tiptoeing. I'm just saying.
I'm saying in general, I'm sick of the world having to feel like everything we say is some kind of sin against humanity. Like, if I said I like tall, slender women,
I will say this.
That's not chauvinistic, I don't think.
I will say this. I did listen to her new album on the last time I drove 8 hours to Georgia. And the first 4 or 5 songs that I listened to, very mature, very
She
good
wasn't talking about getting revenge on her ex.
No, very good songs.
Really?
Yeah.
I think she's a great artist too. Is there an argument that she's not a great artist?
No, there's not. That's not my argument.
It's not for lifting. Is the argument?
It's not for lifting.
Yeah. It's a valid argument.
It's not for lifting.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to that when I'm lifting. No, when I'm driving and I'm critiquing songwriting capabilities.
Yeah.
wow.
She's
I mean,
great.
she got Songwriter of the Year, right? A decade.
Yeah.
Decade. So I was like, okay, I got to listen to some of these songs.
Yeah.
Great songwriting. Just bam, bam, bam songwriting.
Yeah, now I don't
really
think
good.
I don't think she's like the hottest thing ever, but I think she certainly is. Certainly, she's pretty.
She's a little mousy.
A little mousy.
She's a little mousy, right?
What's the mousy?
Her face is a little mousy, right?
I think I like that.
Really?
I like, but man, I like all kinds. There's all kinds of like. I really do like. I like thick women, skinny women, petite, tall, short.
You like women.
I do.
You just described the whole spectrum of women, right? You just like women. That's good.
Pretty much.
That's fine. Some
I-
people like men.
I'm
Some people like women. Some people like.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Bass boats.
I think variety of different body types can be super attractive. That's what I'm saying. A variety. I think there could be beauty in
I do
all
too.
kinds of women.
I do too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Mousy.
Mousy when it's done right.
Mousy when it's done right. Yeah, like yeah.
What
just,
does that
just like
even
just
mean?
just like
Mousy when it's
like
done right.
I like slender, but I don't like I like slender, but I don't like so slender. You're like
Oh, I gotta show you this.
an X. You look like an X-ray.
Well, let me tell you. You said that. I was going through some things, and I took some screenshots of some stuff. So, like this right here, former Carl's Jr. model Charlotte McKinney unveils toned physique during much needed something or other. Does this look like a toned physique to you, or does it just look like she starved herself to death?
Just looks like she's starved, but I like that.
Yeah.
That's not too skinny for me.
But toned physique.
it's not a toned physique.
It's not toned.
There's no muscle. There's no definition. She looks like
she starved herself and her ribs are exposed.
she looks like every woman that doesn't eat a lot.
Right. And it's just like toned physique.
That's a bit of a stretch.
It is. Did you know that Dolly Parton wears skin-colored gloves on her hands when she does this so she doesn't have old lady hands?
Oh, that's smart.
It's pretty smart.
Dolly spends a lot of money and time to look that cheap.
To look good. She looks great. Do you think
It's
at
what
night,
is Dolly, like
do you
77?
think at night when she gets in the shower and she turns it on, like all the hot water and all that makeup and everything comes off, she looks like
looks
Count
80.
Dracula?
She looks like an 80-year-old woman, I bet. You got to think
She
about
looks like she looks like what is it? What is the
But I'm not going to be
Nostradamus.
talking shit about Dolly. Dolly's a legend.
I
So,
love Dolly. I'm
she's-
just
and
saying
she-
when the shower hits her, she looks great right there.
dude,
And
if I'm with somebody that looked like Dolly at 77, I'm calling you every day and just going to be like,
Hey,
still
I'm
winning.
sending you a picture.
I'm just like still winning at life, Mike.
Hey, gonna send you a selfie of me and
Yeah, me and Dolly.
me and Dolly still winning.
Now,
Now she's wearing some
Are her-
gloves to make her hands look good, but that's smart. I like that.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
a good idea.
she's obviously wearing a wig.
Now, when you say somebody's toned, it's not toned if you just eat a piece of celery every day and you have a little pouch of.
she just looked like a lean woman to me. She looked lean.
She says she looks too sickly to me.
didn't look-
She looks like she's
Oh, I didn't-
malnourished.
No,
she's got fake boobs.
I think of like Fiona
which
Apple.
which is fine. I like fake boobs.
Do you see? I'm not a big fake boob guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. See, but that's how you with the. I don't know why. I can't. I think it's that you know they're fake. Don't you usually know they're fake?
You do, but I mean, boobs are boobs, right? I mean,
They feel
if they're
different.
fake or not. Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't know.
You never felt a fake one?
No, never felt fake boobs before.
Your whole life?
Man, I didn't know people jizzed in strip clubs. I never felt a fake boob before. Are you serious? What a great clip. What a great clip.
Well, yeah, they feel different. They feel a little well, like silicone.
Are they hard?
I don't know. It's been so long. I mean, I do know, but it's been so long since I had my hands. I mean, I've been married for 23 years, and my wife doesn't have fake boobs. So
Careful. Careful.
But
Careful on the podcast.
I don't have to be careful, just so we're all clear. They had fake boobs 23 years ago,
I know,
25
but
years
I
ago.
think
yeah,
maybe
when I
now
felt
they're
them.
different. Maybe they're different now.
Yeah,
Maybe they're a
I
little
was
better.
getting primitive fake boobs, and you're talking about in the 90s when I felt a fake
Okay,
boob.
I did have somebody hug me with fake boobs like 20 years ago, and they were very hard though. Like they hugged me, and it was like boom.
Yeah, you can tell. That's what I'm saying.
And I was like, whoa, that hurt. And then
Now, but if they're done tastefully, I'm okay with it. I'm not like anti boob job. I don't really care. My preference would be.
Welcome back to the Man Podcast, where we're just gonna tell you who's hot and who's not all day long. Brought to you by.
If it would be more politically correct for everyone, I'll just talk about what guys are handsome. I don't have a problem doing that either.
I don't either. You want to go?
So I don't have a problem.
You want to go through that real quick because I will tell you who I think's super handsome.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Okay. Jared Leto, when he's not being a chick.
Good looking dude.
He's a good looking dude. Give me one. Good looking dudes. We're evening out the
scale here.
Yeah.
Man, I would go with I'm gonna go with Larry Wheels.
Who's that?
Larry Wheels, he's a weightlifter, powerlifter, social influencer, super young guy, like 24, crazy physique, does all this crazy shit. He can shoulder press
guys.
Shoulder press 500 pounds. I think I just admire him for his strength. Obviously he's juiced to the gills. He's a good looking dude though. Larry Wheels a good looking cat. Brad Pitt's a classic.
Pitt. Well, of
he's
course,
classic.
somebody's gonna say Brad Pitt. I mean, well, let me just say, okay, how about?
But he still looks great. I mean, he's 50, still looks fantastic.
Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder looks great, and he's getting older. He's always looked great.
Yeah,
Eddie Vedder looks great.
So, yeah,
let's see. So I said, I'm trying to remember.
Bless you
in the other room there. Somebody's doing a podcast in the other room.
I haven't spent that much time thinking about it, but I don't have like a masculinity issue where I have a problem saying
I don't
that's
either.
a good looking dude. Doesn't bother me at all.
I do. Jared Leto in those videos of 30 Seconds to Mars was like, break me down. Those videos, he looks so awesome in those videos.
Because he looks like a superhero or what?
Yeah, he's just amazing.
Yeah.
And then I used to have reoccurring dreams when I was younger about Eddie Vedder and hanging out backstage with him and because he was so awesome.
Yeah,
it was never I was never having sex with him or anything, but
well, you could have. It's a dream.
It was a dream.
It's a dream. You can't control what's happening there.
And he still looks awesome.
He's only a few years older than us.
True.
I mean, when they were coming out, I was 15, and he was probably
21.
Yeah, I mean, they're not so
21.
He's
18.
close to your age.
He was 18. We were 15.
Yeah, so you and Eddie could be a thing.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
No, I don't want to be a thing. He lives in Hawaii, by the way, which is a pretty good.
I'm saying y'all could be a thing. Just like I don't want to sleep with Taylor Swift, but I would. You and Eddie could be a thing. I know you don't want to be a thing.
Hey, Eddie, call me. Call me.
But I
want you to sing, I seem to recognize your feels, haunting familiar gear.
So
I can't seem to place it. It's just go ahead him. Every night.
He's great. He's probably, would you say he's the best looking grunge singer? I'd go Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell.
Let's do two things. So I'm only going to talk about how good looking these men are for a few more minutes, but even though I don't, it doesn't bother me. But would you the best looking male vocalist in grunge? I'd go Chris Cornell. Who would you go? Vedder. Sexiest male vocalist of all time. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's a slam dunk.
Gavin Rossdale.
Gavin Rossdale could not clip the toenails.
I love Gavin Rossdale.
I do too, but he could not clip the toenails of 1968 to 1979 Robert Plant.
That's not fair.
It's not fair because he's that much more.
That's not fair.
That dude stood at a festival like this, and a dove just landed on his hand while he's in front of 100,000 people.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I know, because he's the clear winner, right?
Well, he's the one that probably started the sexual revolution of a male singer.
Oh yeah, he would take.
Who was before him? What was it?
Elvis?
Oh, was Elvis before them?
Elvis
I guess
the 50s, way before him.
Elvis has a different vibe though.
It was just the same kind of girls are falling over like.
Isn't it funny that Did you watch that Elvis show? Did you watch
the movie?
Have you watched the movie?
No, but I know enough about all musicians to talk
anyway,
about it.
You should.
I know everything in the movie. Probably.
It.
I will. Yeah, because I love those kind of picks.
You got to. Elvis was the first person that made ladies feel funny in their pants when they saw him on stage. I'm guessing, to the point where they couldn't control themselves, and men were the men that brought the ladies to see Elvis would look at their women and be like, what the fuck is going on?
You're not gonna know. You're not gonna know this because it's not as known probably in pop culture. But Hank Williams Sr. in the like 49, 50, 51, 52, 5-6 years before Elvis was making
Did the same
women
thing.
absolutely like hysterical in their pants. Like their pants were about like jumping off of it. Like it's crazy some of the sexual exploits of Hank Williams.
Did you ever know? Really? I gotta
They were
dig
like
deep
dude,
on that.
He
That's
was
pretty cool.
he was the first sex symbol.
Really?
Yeah, Hank Williams Sr. is the first sex symbol in music that I
Hank
can think
Williams
of.
Jr.
Real
was pretty cool, but he wasn't a sex
No,
symbol.
he wasn't. He was cool, but not a sex.
He
no,
was very
Hank,
cool.
I'm talking about Hank III's grandfather, Hank IV's great grandfather, Hank Williams. He was a sex. So it'd be So I'd say that it would be Hank, and then you had Elvis Presley, who Elvis took it to a new level. Right? It's a new Hank Williams he's a sex symbol, but then Elvis took it to this different level.
Elvis took it to like
then
blew everyone's mind.
And but Robert Plant took it to a
God,
what the fuck is like
what's in his pants
like
level?
He could have he could walk out of like
was he stuffing his pants?
no, but he did that. He would shift his whole package, Frank's and Beans,
And Beans
to one side of his pants to like his left side.
Hashtag Franks and Beans.
Well, hold on. So the most skin tight pants you could wear, and he shifts, the Franks and the Beans all the way to the left to one side, so it looks like creates this big bulge on one side, and then he would just stand with his bulge like facing the crowd. Like,
oh my God.
Oh yeah, and boy, it worked.
It worked. There were a lot
And then you're like,
ladies.
it's just all this legend, and then you're like, you get on his plane, it's like velvet carpet and a bar and a fireplace in his fucking plane. He had a fireplace in his plane. Like,
how do you have a fireplace in a plane?
I don't think you could light
It was fake.
It's fake probably, but it was.
Or it was a fireplace he didn't light.
The point is, you're already enamored with this guy. Then you like get on his jet. He's got a bar in his jet, and then you're like, let's go back here by the fireplace, and his golden locks are just flowing through the plane and his tight pants.
Is there a number on how much puss this guy got his entire life?
Robert Plant. He's such a humble guy as he's got probably since he's been about 35. He won't even speak on it. Like when people they'll ask him about his exploits. When they were like, "Is it true that that you and Jimmy really, screwed that girl with a shark?" He's like, I don't know. It could have happened. That's how he answered that exact question. Actually, he's like, it could have happened. A lot of things.
A shark.
A lot of things did happen. He's like, I'm not gonna really speak on it at this point. I mean, it's a long time ago, but like certainly times were wild. That's kind of like our standard Robert Plant answer. But I would put the number in the 10,000 range.
Jesus.
It's a 9-year run. I don't know that it's Motley Crue numbers because they were
they were trying to.
Yeah, see, like Robert Plant.
They were doing stuff like how many we won't take showers until somebody turns us down.
Yeah, like a woman like gave Tommy Nikki a blowjob and threw up on his stomach from the smell.
Yeah.
Threw up SpaghettiOs on his stomach from
SpaghettiOs.
30 days without a shower, and he's probably and they're sleeping with 3-4 girls
gross.
a day, 3 or 4, 5, 10 girls. Vince Neil at one point.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is just disgusting. This is like the debauchery of just like.
Well, it was debauchery. That's what it is. So
it's so much excess. And just like it's so gross. Like I would never do that, even if I was in that. No,
I would.
It's terrible.
We're not geared that way. But so like Robert Plant wasn't doing like I think he was more like take just as the women came to him. But I don't think he was like the Motley Crue mission was like we're gonna as many as we can get tonight. I think Robert Plant just knew like.
I'm gonna get some puss tonight.
I'm Robert Plant, like what I'm saying, just like Vince Neil. I mean, in '80s Vince Neil, you could almost put an 80. I mean, it's hard to say that looking at him now, but you could almost put Vince Neil up there with like in the top 4 like sexiest dude. That dude was a walking sex symbol.
Vince Neil was he was a walking sex
up
symbol.
until about '94. Like he was like he's walking through puddles when he's around women. Like there's.
What about Def Leppard? They
but
got
I never
down.
thought Joe Elliott was never like.
They used to take breaks in the middle of the show.
And go.
Well, I think they all did.
Yeah, and they'd go have sex in the round.
Did.
But I still never. But Joe Elliott's not somebody I would call like traditionally stunning.
See, I don't think bands do that anymore. I think it's all.
Oh no,
it's not the Wild West anymore. Remember,
you couldn't do that anymore. You
can't
get crucified.
You get crucified. Like back in the day. When there were these bands and
people are too smart, they don't want to do that.
They don't want to do that.
They're artists, right?
Yeah,
like
they're artists.
You know,
You're in it to win it. You're in it
The-
for the money,
the
and
kid,
you're in it for everything else.
The Kiss
other
approach
reasons.
of like Gene Simmons' approach. Even when I was a kid, I remember Gene Simmons talking about music, and he would be like, and he would say things like, "Anyone that says they got into music because of music is a liar. They got into music to get laid." And then I would listen to the bands I liked, like
Some bands,
like Sabbath and Megadeth, and I'm like, they're not ever saying anything.
they're
like that.
not, because there's a bunch of dudes at their shows.
Yeah, but they're not ever, when they're speaking in interviews, they don't ever speak about like, well, how did you write this amazing album? Because I want to get laid.
I wrote a Tout Le Monde because I wanted to get laid.
Yeah,
I wrote Rust in Peace
Even
because
like
I knew ladies like the whole thing about nuclear war, and it would get me laid.
Yeah, so I was like, I always thought, I was like, Gene Simmons is a idiot, like, because he really believed, but he says it with such conviction, like,
He's
oh,
a
yeah.
male chauvinist pig.
He's
Totally.
like, oh yeah. I was like, I remember being a kid being like, this guy thinks that all musicians, does he know this whole segment of real music exists? Like, that where no one gives a shit about being laid? Like, you're gonna get laid. That's just, people get laid. But
says
real
this.
musicians and artists aren't doing that.
Let's just peruse some lyrics. I want to rock and roll all night and party every day.
And fun.
That's it.
Fun.
That's it.
Fun fact: Gene Simmons doesn't drink or do drugs, so he lies.
He lies about it.
He lies even about partying to make himself seem cool, to appeal to like teenage girls.
Oh my God! Well, speaking of that, there's some shit. What was it you said? Did
About-
we talk about it in the last one?
What?
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler.
On to Steven Tyler.
Oh yeah, Steven Tyler. Yeah, that it came out that he had.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, he had the relationship with the 16-year-old girl that's coming out, and it was like from the 70s or 80s.
16. I thought she was younger than that.
14 maybe.
14.
That's the usual age. 14's the. Because then I'll tell you the story about Jimmy Page's 13-year-old girlfriend Lori Maddox, and how what was that other famous groupie's name? Pamela Dubois. Pamela Dubois would always, she was like, because she was 21, and she's like, but I'm 21, and she's like, and here comes this fucking Lori Maddox, and she's like 13, and I'm just an old maid now. All the bands,
she's an old maid.
Yeah, she's like, all the they're like, at this time, she says, at this point in time in history, all the bands start going for the 13, 14-year-olds. As a 21-year-old, I'm like out. I'm like on the outside looking in now. She goes, well, I'm sleeping with all these guys 3 or 4 years ago, and now I'm trying to sleep with them, and I'm just getting like cold-shouldered because there's the new batch of 13-year-olds coming around.
That is crazy to me.
Isn't it?
That is so crazy to me. Like, these guys that are in these bands. But you think they just like women. Like women.
Elvis,
not little
Elvis,
girls.
Elvis stopped sleeping with Priscilla when she had the baby
Yeah?
because he can't sleep with someone who's had a baby
Why?
because they're not like a child anymore.
Ugh.
And remember, he was 26, she was 14 when they started dating.
Ugh. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Don't ever. Now he married her when she's in her 20s, but people forget the courting stage when he's a United States soldier stationed in Germany, dating someone's daughter who's in his company.
This is in that movie too, and it's always like this. The parents go, "Oh well, he's really famous, so okay." And I don't know. Being a parent, I would just be like,
I know. I'd be like,
fuck that guy.
Elvis, get the fuck
Get
out of my house.
out of here.
Yeah.
Wait, you love her? You're gonna wait 4 years, motherfucker.
Yeah, to even,
you know what I
to
mean?
even go on a date. Certainly, you're not coming to my house and while you're 26, she's doing algebra.
Yeah,
like this.
You're 26. She's 14.
So, but
don't come around my daughter.
But you're asking,
weirdo.
You're asking about would they like women?
But I think they got like the stars in their eyes, and they're thinking she's gonna be completely taken care of the rest of her life.
Well, which was the case.
Which was the case.
So,
well, hold on a second.
You just ruined that argument.
No, I just ruined it.
But like Steven Tyler, Steven Tyler and Ted Nugent, the girls
Still.
Ted Nugent adopted a minor to sleep with.
That's terrible.
He became her guardian.
That's awful. That's against the law.
No, he became her guardian.
That's terrible.
But that
what about switching over from music to movies?
Mm-hmm.
Woody,
marrying his stepdaughter.
Yeah,
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen,
when he was like 82,
his adopted daughter.
Yeah,
married her.
But at least he waited till she was grown. But she wasn't. He didn't wait till she was grown.
No.
He didn't.
He didn't. He groomed her.
There's so many creeps, man. Why are there so many creeps in the world?
Why? There are a lot of creeps, and they tend to get away with it. And we talk about them right now, and it's like nobody's been to jail.
Yeah, like where's Jimmy Page and Ted Nugent's on his land in
fine.
Montana and his ranch in Montana.
They're fine.
Jimmy Page is in his villa in England, smoking cigars with $100 bills.
Yeah. They're all doing fine. And the other thing is what's his name from Aerosmith?
Steven Tyler.
He'll be fine. They're talking about it now.
And now I think,
I mean, that's there's.
How do you feel about statute of limitations?
Is there statute of limitations?
I feel like there should be. I mean, even though I totally am disgusted by these people who are carrying on affairs with 14-year-old girls when they're and they're celebrities too, so they're using their celebrity to manipulate a child's mind. That's the other thing that's
I think
fucked
maybe
up.
statute of limitations to be case by case. I think there's got to be evidence in case
for
by
murder
case.
or something. But I'm saying for something like that, I go 15 years maybe. That's.
I would have to go back and I would have to say, what did these parents think about it?
They were all
because sometimes parents are shitheads.
Like the parents for Ted Nugent, they signed over their rights to Ted Nugent,
and she wanted to be with him. Boom. I guess that's fine.
And I think probably in the state they were in, the age of consent was 16 back then. So if you were 16 and you were,
well, then I guess it's all above board.
It's all above board, right?
It sounds creepy now, but like back then, he's like, "I love him, Daddy. You really love him? He's a famous dude. Okay, we'll sign. You love him? I love you.
Yeah.
We'll sign you over to him, and you can do what you want with him, and there you go, above board."
Then when it doesn't work out, when they turn 19, they're like,
"Oh, you're too old. Got to find another 14-year-old son of a gun."
Then they just kind of, all came out of that, and like the 90s happened, and then technology happened, and it got where people could get more information, and books started coming out, and they just kind of stopped.
They stopped,
and they just kind of like and no one kind of brings it up to them. We're bringing it up like on our podcast, but no one like.
We'll be dead soon, Ray. We'll be dead soon.
I see interviews with all those people, and I never see anyone bring it up. Like, hey, tell me, like Jimmy Page, like
that's because in interviews everything's already discussed. We're gonna puff piece this interview because you've got
Jimmy
a new
Page.
book coming out.
You're Jimmy Page.
Yeah, you're.
And
Jimmy Page.
I'd be starstruck sitting there with Jimmy Page. I can't lie. If Jimmy Page was in this room, I don't know that I could be like, talk to me about Lori Maddox.
Well, I was told that in this interview we weren't going to talk about that, so I'm leaving. I'll be out of here.
That's exactly what would
happen.
Yeah. They would throw a little diva fit and they would never answer the question. They'd leave and nobody would press it any further.
Because nobody is.
And then
nobody is pressing the
and then
issue.
if somebody wants to, even if I guess back then you were like somebody like, oh, I should do something for my daughter. She's been basically kidnapped by Jimmy Page.
Oh God.
That's what happened. That Lori Maddox Jimmy Page shit is wild, man. It's a wild, like,
look that up.
He has her like brought to the room when she's 13. He's sitting in the corner like in a suit, like legs crossed with a cane, smoking a cigarette. Like, come in. Like, they bring her, like security brings her there, and she'll tell it now. And she's probably, I don't know, older than us, 55, probably 57.
And she had no idea what she was doing. She was a kid.
Well, she says she knew exactly what she was doing.
Oh, she did?
Well, yeah, I mean, in her mind
she
at that
wanted
point,
to have sex with Jimmy
Page. Yeah, of course. And then you walk in.
It's totally wrong, though. I mean,
you're in 8th grade, 7th grade.
Ugh.
Gross.
It's gross. I can't believe that. Why all our heroes are pedophiles? Like, what's up with that?
It's what I've always loved about the metal. You never hear this shit coming out of the metal community.
Never.
All you never hear that coming out of the metal community. The people that people think would be the most fucked up crap. Nope. You ain't never heard nothing like that. It's always pop and rock and hard rock. It's
never metal.
It's never metal.
You never heard of like.
It's never punk either. You never hear
James Hetfield doing anything wrong.
No, they do things wrong,
I mean, you know what I mean. No,
or Ozzy or Dave Mustaine
like
or Kirk. They do things wrong. Things they do wrong. They got drunk, got in a fight. They punched a reporter. They did this. They did, but it's never something like they took advantage of a child. Or
right. Right.
It's a different type of wild. It's like, oh, they were having fun, or or they were just young boys, but they're doing young dumb boy shit.
Lots of gusto.
You don't hear rape stuff.
There's a lot of gusto.
Now Dave Ellefson of Megadeth had his little deal though, right? Remember that? Right?
Oh, no, you gotta tell me about that.
Well, you didn't. I think you knew why Dave Ellison's not in the band right now, right?
No,
You know he's not in Megadeth right now, right? He hadn't been for like a year. Wasn't on this last album.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Junior's not on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, because
I didn't know that. I don't like read the fine print.
Because I knew you were a big Megadeth fan like I am.
I am, yeah.
Well, Dave Ellison's like a huge part of Megadeth. He's been there since the beginning. But anyway, he was showing his wiener to a 17-year-old.
Oh God.
So, but Dave Mustaine immediately found out and was like,
You're
Junior,
out.
you've been my guy for 40 years, but guess what? The fuck out of here. Because Dave Mustaine will do shit like that.
Oh yeah.
And it was a 17-year-old, which is not a 13-year-old. Now it's also not a 21-year-old or an 18-year-old, but
What state were they in? No, I'm
California.
kidding. No, screw that guy. That's
yeah,
messed up.
yeah, it's
You
messed
don't
up.
do that. He's old.
And he's
He's old.
like 60.
You don't show your wiener. You're old.
She wanted to see it.
What?
Well, she was. I mean, they were like having a back and forth sexual type of like sexting relationship. I guess it was videos and sexting. And
This guy's a goob.
oh yeah. You
What a
can't do
total
it.
goober.
That's why he had to get. So I said it never happens in metal. You did have the incident with Ellison, but they took care of it immediately. And I love Dave Ellison too. That's what that. And he's been my guy since I was like. Since Megadeth came out, like I've been like, man, that dude's fucking awesome. He's a great bass player.
Great bass player.
But holy shit, you can't do that. That's but anyway, that's why he's
No,
not.
no.
That's why he's no longer. Dave Mustaine.
That is a long time.
The story came out. Dave Mustaine fired him like within 3 minutes. It was like, boom. This happened with Dave Ellison, and then the next thing you're seeing on Blabbermouth is like Dave Mustaine fires Dave Ellison. He didn't even wait for. He didn't wait for a jury. He didn't wait for it to come out. He didn't wait for a court case. He didn't wait for a book. He's like, I heard the story. I'm out of this bitch. And I have to say, the new Megadeth album was still great without Ellison.
Pretty good.
It's no Rust in Peace, but it's certainly good for sure. And I'm a huge Megadeth fan, but not cool for what Ellison did. And I never did get the whole story, so I mean it was mutual, but you can't have mutual sexual contact or any kind of talking at all with someone that's not 18 years old, unless you're in a state, I guess, where it's 16, 17. But I mean, are you really going to jump through do those mental gymnastics to make it right? For sure you're not, because there's no way to really make it right. Like Ellison knew immediately, even though this was a mutual thing, he knew immediately that, yeah, hey, I shouldn't have been doing this and I screwed up. So he's got his little side project now. So he's actually doing another Megadeth band.
I got a great story about Megadeth.
So Dave Ellison has his own Megadeth band now.
What do you mean he has his own Megadeth band? He's not Megadeth.
It's called hold on. It's called, never mind. It's not. It's called Lucid. I thought he was doing Megadeth songs, and I think he is, and just calls it something else. And he does like a full Megadeth set featuring Dave Ellison.
Do you know what the Megadeth was the first band I listened to in my car after I lost my virginity?
You remember the first?
Oh yeah. I remember having sex, leaving.
I lost my virginity to Boys to Men.
You did? To Boys to Men?
Boys to Men.
That's awesome.
and I hated it. And that's nothing I would
really feel bad, girl, about what I did, girl.
That would
Was it that part of the song?
I don't know, but I shouldn't
And
have
the
felt
guy's
bad.
like, we belong together. Ooh, you know that I'm right.
She should have felt bad for what she did. I didn't know what I was doing. She was the pro, not me. I was
in my heart. You left my mind. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So like Megadeth was it, and you know what album it was?
What? Rust in Peace?
Countdown to Extinction. High speed dude. You know,
That's-
like I left.
That's like my third favorite Megadeth album.
I left the house, and I'm getting in the car, and I'm driving, and I've got my, I got the condom with me.
You don't have to whisper; people are gonna hear you.
Yeah, I know.
I've got the condoms, guys.
And I'm listening, and I just threw it out the window.
Oh, you had the condom still on?
I threw it out the window.
Well, yeah. Well,
To
why don't you put it?
Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction.
I guess you didn't want to dispose of it at her house or whatever,
What was
right?
I
Because you're in
gonna
high
do?
school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally out of control.
Can't leave that for mom to find.
Can't leave it.
So you just left it on the old wang.
And I just like out the door into the car, put Megadeth on it was a tape.
Yeah,
by
Dave
the way.
Ellison's band is his band he tours on is called Kings of Thrash. It's a Megadeth set. Dave Ellison just plays Megadeth, and it's called Kings of Thrash.
What else is he gonna do? That's all he knows.
Well, yeah, of course, and of course, you use that money.
Does he have to pay? Does he have to pay him?
I don't think to perform it you wouldn't. Like I could do like if we.
I
did
think you do. If you're performing venues you sell tickets to, I think you do. I think it's copyright stuff.
Well, what about? Well, then every cover band would have to pay, right? Like
They kind of do. I think they do.
if you're a big, like if you do like if you're like a tribute band, like
I think if you're like
Little Ozzy or somebody. You
I
seen
think-
Little Ozzy, the little midget guy that does Ozzy?
No.
He's huge, man. He's not huge. He's small, but he has a huge tribute act. Like he has the full stage production. Like
and it's a little Ozzy.
he's about this big. Looks like Ozzy. Dresses like him, wears capes, glasses, the whole thing. He's killer too. I mean, he's really talented.
Really?
And he does a full Ozzy set. I wonder if he has to pay. But he plays like
I
he
think
doesn't
he
play
does.
like 50-seat venues. It's like
I think he
theaters.
does. I think he does have to pay.
Yeah.
I think he does. It's
That would suck. The poor little Ozzy's making $10,000 a night. Real Ozzy's making $1 million a night, and little Ozzy got to give Big Ozzy money for doing.
it's his money. He wouldn't be doing it.
He's paying homage to him.
He's paying homage, but he's also making money off of him. That's Ozzy's blood, sweat, and tears. He's making money off of.
Yeah, but it's kind of like he's paying homage. It's like doing you a favor.
Ozzy wants his money.
But no, like
everybody
Ozzy,
wants their money. Like if
Ozzy doesn't need little Ozzy. I guess little Ozzy needs Big Ozzy. So
right.
yeah, I guess that's
think
kind of how
you
that
do.
works.
I think if you show up on the radar, you're paying, and if you don't show up on the radar, it's almost like John looked up for us what it would cost me
to do Michael Jackson
to do the Michael Jackson song on Spotify with Kim.
What was
If we
the
put
burden?
that, it was like 9 cents a play. So if people downloaded,
Yeah,
or
we talked
listened
about that at my New Year's Eve party.
at New Year's Eve party, I would have to pay 9 cents to Michael Jackson's estate every time somebody listened to that. That sucks.
So if 1 million people listened, instead of you getting money, you would owe Michael Jackson $9,000.
Right. And I wouldn't make any money off of that.
No, I'm sorry, you'd owe him $90,000.
90,000.
9 cents a spin. For if you got 1 million
Wow.
listens, you'd
So,
have to
like,
write.
there's no way I'm going to be. Sorry, everybody. That's not going on Spotify.
You'd have to write Michael Jackson estate a $90,000 check and would have received no money.
Yeah, I would for the rest of
you
my
get-
life be paying Michael
you get
Jackson's
3 cents a
estate
spin
for-
and you owe
for-
him 9 cents.
Right.
That's why nobody covers it. It's the same
Nobody
with
does it.
Queen and
Yep.
those bands like that. It's crazy. That is nuts, though.
I think that I think there's other rules. I think you can.
So people think like Alien Ant Farm probably got rich doing Smooth Criminal, but really just Michael got more rich.
Well, you got to remember back in the day, like everybody did a cover song first to promote themselves. Like Limp Bizkit did it. They did Faith. Mm-hmm. They probably made zero money off of it, but
Well,
they
no,
were on MTV. And,
George Michael's not hardly Michael Jackson, so he probably wouldn't.
well,
pay them.
here's
Yeah.
the thing, though. You still had to pay. You still had to pay.
Yeah, but I bet it's different scales, right? Just
Well,
like
I'm sure it's a different scale.
like Michael Jackson.
But I'm just saying, like even. Well, let's see. All these bands in the 90s, there was a lot of bands, and they all did a cover. Mm-hmm. So you'd hear something familiar, but you were also
Alien
hearing
Ant
it
Farm did
in,
the Smooth Criminal. Limp Bizkit did Faith.
in their style. Like,
Yeah.
we were changing styles in the 90s of music, and people wanted to hear, like, Alien Ant Farm did that in, like,
Their
and
own
it was
way.
heavy.
Yeah.
And so even I think the people for Korn were really smart because they did like Ring Around the Rosies, which doesn't have any kind of ties to any kind of royalties you'd have to pay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. That's old. Those are old fabled songs.
But
or
they don't
whatever.
have a songwriter that has to somehow get paid. Or
Well, let me just say this: you don't have to pay Mozart to use Mozart anymore.
is statute of limitations? Right? I
Yeah,
figure the family would get paid.
there's years after a certain amount of years. Now, if
Because
you
public
don't-
domain, that's what it is.
Public
It's called
domain.
public domain.
Public
That's right.
domain. So, like, I think that all of those fairy tale stuff is public domain.
Do you know what the most sung song is every year?
Oh, is it at Christmas?
It's
New
every
Year's?
day. It's every day.
Every day. Happy birthday.
There you go.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday is I forget the number, but it's performed something like 2 billion times a year.
But the Beatles have their happy. You say it's your birthday, now, and that's their version of
and
it. They
50
were
Cent
pretty
and
smart.
50 Cent has his version.
It's your birthday.
We're gonna
Go,
party like
shorty.
it's your birthday.
It's your
We're gonna
birthday.
sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And we don't give a fuck 'cause it's your birthday, right? He said birthday like 15 times. That's by
in the club.
that's by design. What a great tune, though, right?
Oh yeah, it's totally by design. It's so great.
And the Beatles doing birthday is totally by design. You're not stealing Happy Birthday, which you know to be the most. I said it is the most performed. It's also the most popular song by popularity indicators. How many times it's been sung, heard, played, etc. So they're like they know it's the most. It's kind of like this. If you make a band, so if you make a metal band, and you make your metal band be called Metalocalypse because it goes right by Metallica. So that's a thing that's done in the industry.
But Metalocalypse is
I know.
a show, but the band is called Death
I'm
Clock.
saying you make a band. I know that. I'm saying, but people make bands. When you used to go to the record store, they would make bands that sounded like the most popular bands. So they'd be near them in the record aisle.
So it would be like if we wanted a band, we would be Metallic.
Yeah, Black Flag is by Black Sabbath, right?
Right.
So if you'd be like, Black Flag. Who are they?
Hey, we're AAA.
Yeah.
AAA. And you'd be
Anthrax-
the first one on the rack.
Anthrax is by AC/DC. Some of that stuff is very thought out. But when it used to matter, I guess now it still matter. I guess if you were,
It doesn't matter anymore.
doesn't get sorted that way. But
Doesn't
it used to
get
get
sorted
sorted
like
in a
that.
record store like that. So names were super important
Yeah, names were important.
because it would be where you were going to be in the record aisle.
So if you were looking for somebody in the record aisle or the CD aisle, your band you'd want to associate like Michael Jackson. You'd want to be Mikael blah 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 because you'd be right by Michael Jackson
Or another Jackson. You would use
Or
your Randy Jackson.
Yeah,
You'd be
right.
that. Yeah. Thin Lizzy wants to be by Led Zeppelin. Like that's the way it is. Like, which is.
I mean, everything's changed with music. Everything's so different.
100%.
Everything's so different now.
It's still it's just a different way to navigate it. So people just have to figure out how to navigate the new world. But a lot of times people are talking about the music industry and they just don't have a clue. They're still talking like it's 1998 or 2002.
That's not. That's a
that
light
ship
years
has
away.
sailed. When people are like
That's so
streaming's not fair, they're taking all their money. Like, dude,
No,
this
they're
is
making money now.
streaming's been this way for 15 years now.
Yeah.
Everyone streams. Figure out as an artist how to get people to stream your music. You can't just blame everything. Everything's different. It sucks. Nobody wants to listen to music anymore. Yes, they fucking do. Yes, people still want to listen to music.
It's just that now there's 1,000 artists a day coming out.
Well, here,
There's 1,000 a day.
60,000.
60,000.
60. Here's I watched a real good guy on YouTube, and he was going through all this. He goes, so it's 60,000 new songs get dropped a day, right? Okay, he said, here's the deal, though, Mike. It's not that. That's the face everyone makes. What you just did. He goes, it's not as daunting as you think, and he said, let me tell you why. So 60, and it made a lot of sense. He said, so 60,000 songs get dropped a day, right? He said, off top, I can tell you right now on a 100% for fact, 50,000 of them, absolute shit.
Absolute dog
Complete
shit.
garbage. No production. Probably done in their room.
Right.
Because they can't upload it. He goes. If you're worried about those 50,000 songs, you've got so much work to do, right? You've got so much. He goes. Now it's 10,000. Okay. He goes, of that 10,000, maybe 1,000. He said maybe 1,000 are mixed, mastered, and done what I would call well. What I would call well. The production sounds good. It sounds like a song. It fits into a genre. You could put it. He goes, so now it's 1,000. He goes, so now you got 1,000 songs going on. He goes, okay, cool. So what genre are you? You do, your genre is, let's say your genre is thrash metal or whatever. Let's say your genre is punk. Okay, punk. There's 1,000 total songs that we're worried about. Right. And you're punk or you're thrash metal.
So there's 100 of those punk songs because nobody
7.
listens to punk.
7 punk songs. So right, he goes. So now you're competing in a pool of like-minded people. Of 7 people. He goes. So now you got to really outperform 6 or 7 people. It's not. He goes. He goes. All that shit is set up to make people feel defeated or feel like you can't win in this anymore. He goes.
Let me just tell you this.
Just a little different.
Let me just tell you this. If you have somebody like the lead singer I had,
oh yeah,
and you went from town to town, and you played shows from town to town for 5 years, you're going to be on everybody's mind.
Mm-hmm.
You just some people have the it factor thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
And it's about the songs.
and it's about the songs, and like some people just have it, and those people that have it get pushed up to those top percentages because
they stand out.
You're traveling around and you stand out. Now there's a bunch of good bands that write really great songs and they sound really great, and they're good to listen to, but there is a upper echelon of people that just grab you.
Yeah, but there's gaps there.
That grab you.
And there's gaps. You can see that there's gaps either with their playing or with their marketing or with their presence or with their look. Or there's a reason. I'm not saying. Look, obviously, people with money, people with connections, those people, they get. You can market yourself.
You can market yourself to that. You got to have.
You have a head start.
You've got to have some like okay. When people want to put money behind you, the person with the money has to see something. It's not just like they want to write it off.
Yeah, it's just
there's something they see.
And now with the internet, though, you can see. So it's the same thing. Like with the internet, you can go, okay, well, there's 10,000 artists on, say, TikTok, right? Of those 10,000 artists, and I may interact with 1,000 of them in a week's time. 4 or 5 of them stand out, and they're like, oh, it's just better, or it's good.
God, still all the music I listen to, I only listen to like 10 different bands now, and every day,
the older you get,
60,000 bands are coming out, 60,000 songs, and I still just only listen to those bands.
But so much of it wouldn't even catch your attention for 1 second. It's just like
a lot of it's newer though.
But some of it's really good, so you really catch some new stuff.
I move on. A lot of it's newer, like a lot of it's new, but
so you only have 10 bands that you listen to?
Pretty much.
Really?
Pretty much.
Damn, that's incredible.
Yeah, it may be less than that.
I'm probably like 100. I'd say I'm 100 that I like regularly. 100 bands that I regularly listen to. Like listen to, I'd say monthly.
Really?
Probably 100.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say 10. I'm still on my 10. 10 bands. 10 bands.
Man.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you're
locked
discovering
in.
new bands?
Yeah, and I
so
move
what do
on.
you replace? You
I
just
replace
one,
and I move on.
I can't replace people.
I don't like if I listen to music and I like it, I listen to it. Oh, the other thing
That's why I
is
can't
now
replace
is like
people.
genres. Like I listen to just one genre and I'll move on to another genre.
Your genre right now is screamo?
My genre right now, actually, like if I go to the gym, I listen to like heavy stuff.
Like, give me a
blah,
band.
blah.
Give everybody a band. What's your favorite band right now that you'd lift?
Here's
to?
the thing about the genres: they all sound the same. So I'm gonna have to just like pull it up real quick and tell you, because I couldn't tell you what their name is.
Well, give me your 10. Then give me 5 of your 10 bands that you're liking right now.
Phase 1 and Polaris.
Phase 1 and Polaris.
North Lane.
These are all bands you like, or these just bands that show up on your playlist?
These are fans.
Or you like them all because they sound the same?
Because they sound the same. Like Thornhill.
Thornhill's good.
So those are
I don't know some of the other bands.
Those are like the heavy bands that I listen to. Now today when I was riding back from fishing and whatever, I listened to Tool. So I listen to Tool.
Yeah, but Tool to you is like Sabbath to me, right?
Tool's like my go-to. I'm chilling.
Like
I'm
no matter
what,
what,
like no matter what, I'm listening to Tool.
I can be listening to the Ghetto Boys and I'm still going to listen to Sabbath.
This
I could be
Phase 1 and Polaris. This is like what I like. This is what I like.
Screamo. Is that what it is? What's the genre? I see. All that starts sounding the same to me.
They do.
That's why
they do.
And I don't find it like when I hear Tool, I go, oh wow, that's Tool. Like
that's Tool.
The first time I heard Tool.
Hold on one second. I got to get you to the chorus.
I like that. Yeah, they're gonna have harmony, great harmonies.
The choruses are what I like.
Sounds very early 2000s to me. It kind of sounds time-stamped.
Really?
Doesn't sound time-stamped to you? Really? How does it not? That sounds like every festival I went to from 01 to 05.
Really?
Yes.
No way.
100%.
Oh, you're kicking them around. You're kicking them around.
No, they're good. They're good, but it's you can't pick 10 if they're all the same.
They all the bands I like sound just like that. Right now.
Yeah.
When I work out.
But Tool sounds like Tool.
Tool sounds like Tool. Tool is.
I
Tool.
like bands like that. Like Megadeth sounds like Megadeth.
Megadeth. I
Tool
was listening
sounds
to
like
Megadeth
Tool.
the other day. I don't remember where I was. I realized life wasn't a game.
That kind of thing.
You know, like the way. I love
that, but that's to me like that's.
I love that.
like
All we know is the price we
No.
pay.
No.
I love that.
No, I love it. What I'm saying is, it's like reminds me of the dentist office, like where
What?
Yeah,
The dentist's office.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like background noise. Like if I hear 100 songs, they're all gonna sound like that.
Really?
And I could. You said yourself. I can't. I don't know what bands. What.
Well,
band.
I don't know what bands are what. I don't know what
That's
band
my-
that is.
Well, but there's no way. If Tool put a new song out in 1 second,
You'd hear it. You'd be like,
go-
"That's Tool."
You'd play it for 3 seconds. You go Tool. If Megadeth dropped a new song, you'd be like, "That's Megadeth."
But if you listen to them enough, and you listen, I'm digging a hole. I'm digging a hole because you're right. Because it's like, oh, that's Tool. Oh, that's Slipknot.
Yeah.
That's Stone Sour.
Yes.
That is
Foo Fighters.
Jimmy Page.
Yes.
That's Robert Plant. That's Foo Fighters. That's so.
Yeah. You could have told
these bands. There's 100 bands that do that, and they go and then in the chorus they go. Ba, 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 ba,
You could have told me that was.
ba, ba, ba. They all do it, and the thing about it is I love that.
Me too, but you
love
could have
it.
told me that was 100 different bands, and I said, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would have believed you."
Yeah.
Whereas you couldn't, if you played Tool, and you were like, "This is the new Slayer," I'd be like, "No, it's
No, it's
not.
It's Tool.
What do you
Tool,
yeah.
motherfucker?
And that's what makes bands special. Is
Right.
like
I know, it's a genre that's special.
I love the genre. I love that. Look, I just told you I was at all these festivals where they played that all the time,
Right,
right?
right.
Which means what? I was seeking that out
You're in it
to see
You're
it.
in it to win it.
I want to see it, but I would know the band that played at 10 a.m. all the way into 6 p.m. All those bands were kind of the same.
The same. Oh yeah, I know that. I just love the genre. I love the heavy 7-string, 8-string, blah blah blah, and then like the high chorus. Singing.
Me
It's
too.
so
I love
great.
the good harmonies.
You know why?
The
I
aggression.
I love the grandiose of the ba 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 ba. I love it. I love that. For some reason, it hits me really good.
Oh, that a lot of people love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just, but if I was saying like you were saying like your 10 favorite bands,
But I couldn't tell you
that you don't know
but
who they are.
But also, the funny thing about that is exactly what you're saying. Name 5 bands that do that. I don't know their names. I just have them on playlists. And
Kill
that's what
Switch
they do.
Engage, Asking Alexandria, the Hawthorne,
Yeah,
Hawthorne Heights,
Well, Hawthorne Heights is kind of emo-ish. They're
a lot
more
of
than
emo
that.
bands do. A lot of emo bands did that.
But yeah, you're right. Asking Alexandria, like all those. But I love that sound. It's great. I love it.
It is. That's. I don't think that's been the discussion. The discussion being, if you're saying these,
They
are my
sound
10.
the same. They all have a
It's
formula.
a total. That's why I said
It's a formula, and they do it.
That's why I said in the dentist office, right? Like, because
Right.
I could totally be. If I was in like, let's say I was at a dental office and he was a metalhead. That's what I would expect to be playing, like kind of in the
Right.
that would be that in classic rock. That's what would be
Right.
playing like in the
Right.
in the background, in the peripheral. Because so many people love because the harmonies kick you like yes.
Yeah,
yes.
the harmony. Oh, yeah. And the funny thing about the
And because
harmonies.
they come, they're like this.
Yeah.
And then they go, and I fly. Like, whoa, yes, I fly.
Yes.
You feel alive. You get this.
Yeah,
like,
they give you the lows and the highs.
But then-
it's completely what it's
but then
about.
the next song, instead of saying that, he just goes, "Run through the threshold, through the floodgates, I fly away." They do another. It's a different.
Yeah, it's good.
It's so good.
Oh man, we need to record what you just did.
But it's
Let me
this-
grab a guitar. Let me grab a guitar. Real quick.
We could do one real quick.
We could do one real quick.
You gotta
That's
get-
the funny
you
thing
gotta
about
get-
it.
Oh yeah, you could do it 8 times in a row.
I could do it right now.
Hey,
I've
get
got the
super
drums
mad,
right there.
and then we got to make these harmonies.
And the
cold, man.
and I've got the 8-string guitar right there. And the funny thing is we don't have to do the harmonies. I've got a thing that will harmonize with you to make it sound like.
do the harmonies.
Yeah, are you gonna do them yourself?
I would.
Why? I've got the thing that just does the harmonies for you. It just does it. It just makes the harmony.
'Cause
You
what if
just,
we- 'cause-
you just
alright.
sing whatever you want. It harmonizes with you.
'Cause you have-
That's what they're doing.
'Cause if you-
that's what they're doing.
Because if you have to do it live, I want to be able to do it live.
They do it live with that machine. That's how they do it.
I'd rather my harmonies be live.
Well, they don't. Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, some do. Yeah,
No-
they do. Everybody
Who
everybody
does that now? Nobody does that now. Don't say Post Malone does it because we saw that.
I know Post Malone doesn't do it.
Post Malone doesn't even.
You're
sing
saying
live.
you think there's no bands that do their own harmonies or that kind of band?
Not anymore. It's too easy. It's too easy.
Oh no,
not
there's
to.
100% bands that aren't using anything. There's 1,000%.
Who?
Who? Blackberry Smoke. I guarantee.
I don't know who that is.
Well, that doesn't mean that I can't name them. They're still playing.
Peter, Paul, and Simon. They don't do it. They don't do it.
But millions of people listening know who Blackberry Smoke are.
I don't know who Blackberry Smoke is. What do they sing?
Good One Coming On.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well, I know. I'm sure, but I'm saying they don't. I think they do their own harmonies and all that.
Don't patronize me.
I know I know Sabbath with Dio was not using any backing tracks, nothing.
Well, no, those guys aren't gonna do that.
Nothing, not one fucking thing.
We got to go back to Falling Reverse where they lost their laptop and it was like, we can't tour.
We can't tour.
It's over.
That's
the tour is over.
So so the argument there's definitely bands that aren't using. I think that are doing all. There's still bands doing all live, and I'm not saying I'm against like having some. We talked about this before. You can have some laptop stuff, right?
You can have some laptop stuff. It's cool.
But
it's totally.
But not all your harmonies. That's not totally cool.
I think harmonies should be done. I think you can use a pedal to harmonize now, but it's way cooler if the other guy playing guitar is doing your harmony with you. Yes. It sounds better.
Yes.
And you can totally tell because this is why.
I bet the Eagles are doing their own harmonies.
Of course they do because they're real musicians.
When
you use a pedal, you can tell because it's perfect.
Yeah.
And there's something to say about harmonies that two different people are doing with two different tones makes it 100% right here. Lane Stanley.
Yeah.
And what's his name? And
Chris Cornell?
No, Lane Stanley. Lane Stanley and
oh my God.
Cantrell.
Jerry Cantrell.
Jerry
Why
Cantrell.
are we so stupid?
Those guys, their voices, those two guys came together and did harmonies, and you can't have a pedal that does that.
Mm-mm.
There's no pedal that does that.
That's my point.
There's no pedal that does Lane Stanley and Cantrell. There's
saying
no pedal that does that.
So I'm saying bands that do it themselves. I'm saying not everyone's doing it because there's people out there that think just like me. There's a ton of musicians that are like, no, I'm doing my own shit. I'm doing it all.
But you know how much fun it is though to be like, you're playing a song, you're like, and then you hit the pedal with your foot, click, and you go, all we know is the price we pay. And it's doing it like perfectly.
Well, that's still you doing it at least.
Yeah,
you're just using the pedal, right, for an effect.
Using the pedal to harmonize your voice.
Well, that's not quite the same as just hitting tab 3
right.
and making
right.
that's like if you hit a switch on a guitar to make a sound, or you hit this to make give me this effect, or use this. That's still being a musician.
It is. It is. I have those pedals. We'll have to. Well, we should write a song and then play it on.
And
me and you.
And
you can sing it.
We can write one. We could write one of those.
I could totally write one. Wait, I could totally write one of those. I've got the drums right there. I've got the 8-string guitar.
And I actually like that genre. But
and I like that genre. And we could actually use, and we could put some like all that like what is it like drum machine stuff over the real drums.
All right, so let's do this for the next by the next podcast. We're gonna have our metalcore. We'll have our metalcore song ready and finished, and we'll play it.
You're putting a timeline on.
Yeah, we're gonna do it today. We're gonna do it in.
We'll do it right now.
15 minutes. As soon as we get off the air, we're gonna do our metalcore song. It's gonna kick ass. I've got to write some lyrics, but that's gonna be.
Let's do it.
All right. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
Okay, we're gonna get off the air. We're gonna make a metalcore song, and we're gonna play it next week.
It's gonna be our opener.
Yeah,
we'll make it our opener.
We'll open with our metalcore song. All right, let's go.
All right, bye.
Bye.